All right, let's dive right in. We're going to tackle, well, maybe the biggest question of all. It's a question humanity's been wrestling with for centuries. What can we actually know about our own existence?
I mean, this is it, right? The ultimate question. You know the one. It's the one that hits you when you're just looking up at the stars or maybe when it's completely quiet. It's the question that has fueled our greatest discoveries and our deepest thoughts since we first started wondering about anything at all.
So think of this as our own little quest. We're going to trace the big paths humanity has taken trying to get at that answer. We'll look at the incredible tools we've come up with, but also, and this is crucial, the walls we seem to hit again and again. What's so amazing is that this one single question is what connects all of us. It gets the scientist up in the morning to study a gene, it keeps the philosopher up at night thinking about reality, and it sends us spiritual persons searching for a deeper connection. It's this shared human obsession. But that brings up a really big challenge, doesn't it? I mean, are we even capable of seeing the whole thing, the entire big picture? Or are we maybe a little bit like the characters in a very old and very wise story? To really get a handle on our challenge, there's this powerful ancient story that just illustrates it perfectly. It's the parable of the blind men and the elephant, and trust me, there's a very good reason it's been told for thousands of years. So the story goes, you have a few blind men, and they come across an elephant. One of them grabs the tusk and goes, "Aha! An elephant is a spear." But the next guy, he's feeling the leg, and he says, "No, you're wrong. It's clearly a tree trunk." Then the third guy gets a hold of the tail and says, "You're both crazy. It's a rope." And here's the thing. Every single one of them is right in a way. But they are all totally, completely wrong about what an elephant is. This parable is a perfect metaphor for our own quest for knowledge today. So, who are these blind men now? Well, think about it. You've got the scientist, laser-focused on a single gene or a black hole. You've got the philosopher, wrestling with the very nature of being. And you've got the religious person, living through a profound spiritual experience. Each one is holding on to a piece of reality, sometimes absolutely convinced their piece is the only one that's real. So, over the centuries, humanity has basically developed three distinct, powerful toolkits to try and figure out this whole elephant. Let's map out these main paths. Really, the best way to think about this is that each path is asking a fundamentally different question. Science is all about how does it work, and it uses experiments and data to find out. Philosophy asks, why does it even exist? And it uses logic and reason as its tools. And then you have religion, which asks, what is its purpose? And it looks for answers through personal experience and revelation. See, they're not really at war. They're just asking different questions about the same reality. Okay, but here's the big twist. For as powerful as each of these tools is, every single one of them eventually hits a wall, a hard limit, a point beyond which it just can't go. Let's start with science, our sharpest tool for measuring the physical world. Well, get this. Everything we've ever seen, touched, or measured, all the stars, galaxies, planets, you and me, all of it adds up to only 5% of the universe. 5%! The other 95% is this complete mystery we call dark matter and dark energy, which is really just a fancy way of saying we have no idea what it is. And philosophy? It hits its own wall too. And you don't have to take my word for it. Take it from Socrates himself, one of the founders of Western thought. After a lifetime of questioning everything, his ultimate wisdom wasn't some grand answer. It was a profound recognition of his own ignorance. The more he learned, the more he realized just how little he actually knew. And what's really amazing is that we find this exact same humility in Scripture, from the edge of modern cosmology to the foundations of ancient philosophy, and here in the Quran, the message is the same. Our knowledge is just a tiny fragment of a much, much larger reality. So, if science, philosophy, and religion all admit they have limits, where does that leave us? What hope do we have? Well, the answer isn't to pick one path and throw the others away. It's to learn how to integrate all of their insights. The single biggest mistake we can make on this journey is something called reductionism. This is the exact trap the blind men fell into. It's when a scientist says, if I can't measure it, it's not real, or a philosopher dismisses data, or a religious person ignores reason. It's passionately believing your little part of the elephant is the whole animal. And this is where things get really fascinating. Look at this incredible overlap. On one side, from cutting-edge physics, you have the it from bit idea, the theory that the physical world, the it, is actually made of information, or bits. On the other side, you have this ancient religious concept that reality was created by a divine word or command. Two vastly different paths pointing to a strangely similar idea that maybe existence is rooted in something non-material, something like meaning or information. This all leads us to a really profound shift in perspective. What if the goal was never to arrive at some final static answer? What if the whole point of the quest is the quest itself? So, what does this mean for us right now? Well, it gives us a kind of guide. First, practice humility. Always remember that the unknown is vast. Second, stay open. Every source of knowledge has something to offer. Third, seek meaning, not just random facts. Remember, you're studying the whole elephant, not just its ear. And finally, combine the heart and the mind. Unite our rational thought with our capacity for wonder. Because the ultimate conclusion here is that this whole grand, difficult quest for knowledge, it's not for some cosmic audience, it's for us. The purpose of learning and seeking isn't just to collect information, but to elevate our own spirits, our own minds, and our own character as we go. And perhaps that's the most beautiful realization of all. That whatever the truth is, it's not something to be conquered or owned. It's something to be awed by. A reality that's far grander and more magnificent than any of our little maps could ever hope to contain. So if the wisdom really is in the journey and not the destination, that leaves just one thing to do. Keep asking questions. So, what's your next one going to be?